Hello everyone, and welcome to Joe and Zach's Survival. It is a brutally cold day here in Minnesota. I mean, the temperature is only about 2, 3 below, but that wind is blowing and the wind chills are down close to that 30 below zero mark, and it is just cold. So what I want to do today is, a while back I made homemade tater tots because I really like tater tots, but if you go to the store and see the prices on those things now, it's ridiculous. And you can still buy potatoes for the $3 for 10 pounds. And if you were lucky enough to have them stored, some that you grew yourself, now in Minnesota now anyway, they've been stored for 5 months and they're starting to get a little soft and shriveled, and now would be a good time to make some tater tots or something like that and get them into the freezer where it'll last even longer. So anyway, it's really easy to do. It takes a little bit of time, but it's easy to do. So okay, so last time I made these, which I didn't do a video on them, but I used the white potatoes, and this time I'm going to go with the reds. The whites work just fine. I didn't have any trouble with them, but usually I prefer red potatoes when I'm cooking. I just like the taste of them better. The only thing that might be different is whites have a little more starch and reds have a little more sugar in them, so the reds are going to stick together better when after you grate these, but I didn't have any trouble with the white ones sticking together either. So anyway, for this recipe we're going to use red potatoes. Alright, well, the oven is all preheated now and the potatoes are washed. I'm just going to poke these a couple times to eliminate, I call it potato blowout. And then we're just going to pop these in the oven, and like I said, we're going to put it in for roughly 35 minutes. We want to be able to poke them easy with a knife or a fork, but you don't want them so done that they're getting scrunched, you know, take too much done. So, because we still want to grate them once they're done. Okay, now that we've got these cooled down to room temperature here, we're going to want to take and peel the skin off of them. You don't have to, but since I'm going to be using a hand grater on this, it doesn't get caught up in the grater part itself. So we're just going to get these peeled and then we'll come back and grate them. Alright, now that we have them all peeled, which they peel super easy after they've been baked like that, now we're going to want to grate them. Some of the things you read say use the big holes, some of them say use the small holes, some, you know, do whatever you want. These holes work pretty good for me. And you're just simply going to take and grate all of these potatoes until they're done. Alright, so when you get them all grated up, it should look like that. And you can see about how many potatoes that gave us right there. And now we're going to add a few things before we make our potato tots. Alright, now we've got all our spices and flour mixed together. Now we're just going to add the potatoes and just mix this all together so it all gets kind of coated like so. Okay, now that everything is completely mixed up, we got our seasonings in there, and keep in mind there are people that make pizza potato tots and Italian potato tots. I guess that's kind of a pizza one. Whatever, you can add bacon in here. Some people will chop up and add onions in here. Whatever you want to do. I'm just doing a straight type of potato tot. Some people add cheese in here to make cheesy potato tots, and whatever you want to do. But after you get whatever it is you want mixed in there, I find that if you take like a rounded teaspoon like that, a tablespoon is too big, but if you do a rounded teaspoon, and this is messy. These things are sticky. Form it into the size of a potato tot like so. And this is the most time-consuming part. And just set it aside. And just continue doing that until you're so sick of it and you're done. Well, I decided to try something different here. I read it the first time I did these before, and it didn't work real good, but with these red potatoes it works better. because it sticks together more. So if you can make them into just a cylinder like that, which saves a lot of time, and then just cut them into inch or inch and a half pieces. Look at that. It didn't work good with the whites, but it's working good with the reds. So I think so I'm still plugging away here at this. I still find that doing the teaspoon trick works best to get an evener size, because you end up making them too big all the time. When I made the last ones, I mean, it doesn't really matter. You're eating them, but you're trying to make small little ones, and the teaspoon seems to work better. Another thing, after you do like 6 or 8 of these, they start to stick to your hands, so it's good to go wash your hands off and then come back, and they don't stick as bad. I imagine if you, I don't know, if you use plastic gloves or something, that might work too, but anyway, just a couple of things still going here. Okay everyone, now that that monotonous part of this is done, I made 136 of them. That's one I have here. You could have easily gotten probably 20 more at least, because these are bigger than, you know, they could have been smaller. Like this size is pretty good, and you just tend to make them a little bit bigger. That's pretty decent. But anyway, I've got 136 here. Now we're going to fry these. So when we fry these, we're only going to fry them for a couple minutes on each side. You got to remember, these are already cooked, and we baked them. They're cooked. We're going to take and put them in oil and fry them just so they get crisp on the outside. They stay together nice. So I'm using the oil that I always use in my deep fryer for doing potato chips and stuff like that. Put it in your fry pan so it's about a 1/4 inch up on the sides. And you want your oil, you know, if you've got something that has the temperature around 350 degrees. My oven here, or my stove, has numbers that go up to 10. I'm running it on about 7. So after this heats up, we'll throw some of these in and we'll get them frying. After your oil is up to heat, you just want to put these in, and you don't want them to touch. So I can find in these I can get probably 10 in each one, and I'm running 2. I'm going to run a second fry pan here. I've got one here heating up. And just let them, like I said, just a couple minutes. Flip them over, a couple minutes, take them out, put them on paper towels, we'll let them drain. Okay, there you go. This was maybe a minute and a half on each side. We'll pull them off, throw them on paper towels to drain. They'll be nice and crisp on the outside. It'll help hold them together. And then we'll put some more in this pan right away. Now when these get done, you can immediately eat them. They're ready to eat. I've made way too many here, so what I want to do is freeze some. So as you're doing this, once they drain, take and just throw them in a single layer into something like this here, and pop them in the freezer and let them freeze for, I don't know, 20 minutes or so, and then you can just throw them into any type of a freezer bag or whatever, and just store them in the freezer till whenever you need to use them. Alright, so I'm all done frying those up now, so they are actually finished. They're ready to eat right now. And what I'm going to do is I'll let this oil cool down, and then I just take my funnel, and I have an old oil container that I have deep fryer on there, and I'll just dump it back in, and you can just use it over and over again. And these were the ones we put in the freezer, and you just got to get them frozen on the outside so they don't stick together. And just pop them in here and throw them back in, and they'll be good for a long time. So some of the potatoes, like we talked about in the beginning, stored ones or old ones or whatever that had to be used or thrown out, now have a long shelf life in the freezer as a potato tot. One nice thing when you're making these, you can see, you can make them a lighter color, or if you leave them in the oil longer, you'll get a darker color. So either way, they taste great. Crunchy on the outside. They're really good. First time I did these, I was amazed. It was like, I can't believe they taste that good, and you spend that much in the store to buy them. Okay, everyone. Well, the tater tots are done. I still have a couple more batches that are in the freezer that have to go in here, but I hope that video explained it pretty good for you guys. If you have any comments, questions, anything, just drop it, into the comment thing or in the PM, and I'll get it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Good way to save some money. Save your potatoes. Put them in, now they'll be good for what, 6 months? I don't know how long in the freezer. So, but anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that. Thanks a lot for watching the Joe and Zach Survival Channel. Hey guys, don't waste the potato skins. You can use them too.